Hey gang, I wanted to talk to you about the title. We talked about this in our meeting on Saturday afternoon, and obviously I figured out how to get the font to show up as a sans serif font instead of a serif font. The identifier that we needed to deal with was site title down here, and I think I was probably addressing the H1 tag, but what I needed to address was the link tag, the A reference link. That's the anchor link. And it's actually over here. You can see it. Site title, anchor link, and that was the CSS code we'd be using for this. And if I turn my font off, it goes back to a serif font. Turn it back on. So that's the change that I made. Now, where did I make that? Let me show that to you, because I didn't go into the dashboard of WordPress to do that. I like to work directly with the CSS files. So on my site, Freedom for the Family, it's just a typical WordPress installation. So these are the files that you would have in any WordPress installation. WP content is where your themes are going to live. And the theme that we are using is DigiNews. All these other themes, by the way, once we settle on a theme, will be tossed out, primarily for security issues. And I go into DigiNews, and my CSS file was down here, style CSS. And that's what it looks like. I'll close the one I was working on. So I just take all of my CSS and go way down here to the bottom. And this is where my custom styles start. Way down here at the bottom. And the site title is right here. All I had to do was add the font family in the way that the CSS likes to see it, and that's how I changed the font. How did I get the font family? Okay, great question. I'm using a little program called CSS Edit. There's hundreds of these things around. You basically create a selector. Could be anything, because you're not going to really use it as the end result. You're just trying to get the proper style for the selector. So in the selector, in this case would be a paragraph, what I've done is I've just clicked here so I can put it on a line and come over and looked at fonts and color. Here's your fonts family. I say I want to add this Helvetica, etc. And in essence, what it did is it just wrote the line for me. That's how the CSS would be used in your CSS file. I copied it and I simply pasted it down here, saved my work, and that was how I fixed my font problem there on the front page. Now, one of the things that we may want to do in this is get, well, let's see. This is a comment section. And I just want to make sure that this is going to stand out. So let's put a bunch of asterisks here and here. Carriage return. All right. These are how you make comments in CSS. The opening is a /* and the close of a comment is a //. And I'm just going to copy all this, Command-C on my computer. And if you remember, I did talk about this custom CSS file that I dropped in there. And the reason I dropped it in there is because it would not be replaced in the event that there's an update on this theme. The CSS file could possibly get overwritten. So I'm done editing those. I'm just using just a nice word processing program, a text editor. So I saved my custom CSS in this file, and then the real CSS is here, and the site winds up being what we wanted it to be when we were talking about it in our meeting. So yay, I found it and just wanted to share the results with you.